After being abandoned by her family, the girl moved back to the noodle shop her grandmother had left her. While cleaning, she found a jade bracelet and put it on. To start a new life, she resolved to reopen the noodle shop. However, the business was extremely slow, and she couldn't even cover the costs. Just as she was worrying, a man dressed in ancient-style clothes walked in and ordered a bowl of noodles. Thinking he was an extra from a film set, the girl didn't think much of it. When the man took the first bite, he was shocked and quickly finished the whole bowl. Afterward, he kept praising it as the most delicious food he had ever tasted. The girl was impressed by his acting. She then asked him about his payment method, but the man had already vanished, leaving only a piece of silver behind. Assuming it was a prop, the girl hurried out to chase him. However, an invisible barrier stopped her, and the next moment, the world outside had transformed into an ancient street. At that moment, a homeless boy asked if she could spare some leftover food. The girl kindly brought him inside and served him a fresh bowl of noodles. In return, the boy gave her an exquisite hairpin before leaving. Just as she felt confused, she noticed the street outside had returned to the modern era. Only then did the girl realize the jade bracelet could make the noodle shop connect the ancient and modern worlds. The next day, she took the hairpin to an antique shop for appraisal. Learning it was genuine, the owner bought it on the spot for a high price. This gave the girl a new way to earn money. She returned to the ancient era to continue running the noodle shop. Suddenly, an injured general burst in, holding a sword to her throat and threatening her to save him. But the next moment, he fainted from the pain. Meanwhile, the assassins tracking his footprints arrived outside. The girl quickly locked the door and used the jade bracelet to switch back to the modern world. When the general woke, he was shocked to find the assassins had gone. Before he could ask what happened, the girl told him not to bother thanking her, then promptly sent him out. When the general returned to the military camp, the band-aid on his nose caught the soldier's curiosity. He took it off and found the wound had almost completely healed. Without hesitation, the general returned to the noodle shop and sincerely asked the girl to sell him more. If they could be supplied to the battlefield, they could speed up the soldier's recovery. Hearing this, the girl simply brought out a whole box of bandages, and the general gave her his jade pendant in exchange. She happily took it and bit it gently, for it looked incredibly valuable. Just then, a soldier rushed in to report that the camp was on fire. The general hurried back and learned that a spy had burned their grain warehouse and opened the city gates to let the enemy invade. At the same time, the streets were filled with fleeing civilians. The little boy told the girl that the general refused to force the people to hand over food, and now he and his soldiers were fighting the enemy on an empty stomach. This reminded the girl of her own grandfather who had died on the battlefield. She immediately decided to use modern weapons to save them all.